narcissistic parents are more damaging than narcissistic spouse. Yeah, because they really distort your sense of self, they erode your self-esteem, self-worth, they emotionally, I would say, stunt you, they psychologically stunt you. Yeah, and they really disable you in a lot of ways, and as a result of which you keep attracting toxic individuals, you keep spending more time in toxic relationships. The sufferings are endless when you are raised by narcissistic parents. Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the different ways narcissistic parents make their child feel crazy. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So narcissists choose to get married and choose to become parent because they want more sources of supply. Yeah, their supply can include admiration, attention, validation, financial gain, social status, could be anything. Yeah, so that is the reason they get into relationship and they choose to become parent. Yeah, because they want things in return, they want to fit in, they want to be seen in a certain way, and they want their never ending sources of supply. Yeah, so narcissistic parents are those parents who have this extreme sense of entitlement. They know it all, they deserve all that attention and admiration, and that's it. They are least interested to give attention to their children, they are least interested in admiring and validating their children's effort and hard work. They are not into that. They simply want all of the good stuff, and they hate giving anything in return. They just want to be on the receiving end, and they want their partner and their children to be on the giving end. Yeah, it's pretty one way. Relationship for narcissistic individuals are very transactional, instrumental, and conditional. So till the time you're able to give them what they want out of you, tiny bits of crumbs will be thrown at you on and off to keep you on hook, and keep you feeling rewarded for the things that you have done for the narcissist. But there is no depth in narcissistic relationships. It's very shallow. Till the time you're providing them with whatever they want, everything is good and okay, a little stable. The moment they see you are unable to give them what they want out of you, they're going to compare you, triangulate you, withhold love and affection, treat you passive aggressively. They are going to do all sorts of nasty stuff. Narcissistic parents are very damaging. Narcissistic parents are more damaging than narcissistic spouse. Yeah, because they really distort your sense of self, they erode your self-esteem, self-worth, they emotionally, I would say, stunt you, they psychologically stunt you. Yeah, and they really disable you in a lot of ways, and as a result of which you keep attracting toxic individuals, you keep spending more time in toxic relationships. The sufferings are endless when you are raised by narcissistic parents. So the first way narcissistic parents make their kids feel crazy is by gaslighting. Gaslighting is a kind of a psychological manipulation that throws a person off balance, that makes the victim second guess and question his own reality, his or her feelings. Yeah, and as a result of which that person is in that state of doubt all the time. The person doubts his or her reality, the person doubts his or her feeling, the person doubts the others, the person is simply doubtful for anything and everything. And this helps the narcissistic parents to control the kids better. This helps them to exercise better control. Yeah, because if they will allow their kids to have a better grip over their own reality, the kids might outgrow them. The kids might distance themselves from these narcissistic parents, or the kid might move on in life. And that's not what the narcissistic parents want. That's not what the narcissistic parents have bred the kids for. They have bred the kids for a purpose and reason, and that is to serve them, yeah, to keep supplying them with whatever they want, all those unrealistic expectation, needs and desires. So narcissistic parents have this ability to keep gaslighting the child, and keep them confused and keep them on hook. Yeah, let the child have a poor grasp over his or her reality, and that's how the child is going to keep looking out for me. The child is going to keep on referring me. The child is going to keep on coming back to me. Yeah, so they distort the kid's reality. They really don't want the kid to grow and evolve the way how a healthy individual does. Yeah, so narcissistic parents stunt their kids' growth in a lot of ways, and one such way is by constant gaslighting. Yeah, they are going to make you doubt your own feelings. They are going to make you doubt your own decisions, your likes, your dislikes, your preference. They are going to manipulate you to such an extent that you would simply shut yourself off, and you would simply ask them, "Mom, do you think I should do this? Dad, do you think I should do this? I'm feeling this way. Do you think this is the right way?" Yeah, so that's how damaging gaslighting is. And that's how these kids react and function and behave in narcissistic families. They keep going back to the narcissistic parent. Yeah, because from childhood they have been trained and conditioned not to trust their own instincts, not to trust their feelings, likes and dislikes. Yeah, because every time they tried being themselves, every time they took up some decision, or every time they tried doing things their way, they were gaslit. Yeah, and that's how their sense of self was distorted. And as a result of which, the kid is confused. The kid really doesn't want to mess up, so the best thing is, let me go back to my narcissistic father and seek his validation and approval, so that everything is fine. There is no chaos, there is no drama. The next way narcissistic parents make their kids feel crazy is by invalidation. So narcissistic parents are not going to validate their kids' effort, emotion, feeling, or anything that the kid does or engages in. They are not going to validate. It's not like healthy family, where healthy parents are validating their kids' achievement, success, validating what the kid is experiencing. Narcissistic parents are not into all the healthy stuff. Yeah, and they do this to have better control over their kids. Yeah, so narcissistic parents are into this constant invalidation. Constant invalidation makes the kid feel that their feeling, their emotion, their thoughts are unworthy, and something which is not important. Yeah, that's what invalidation does. That my feeling, my emotion, my thought process is not that important. It's not that great. Yeah, so this constant invalidation also erodes the kids' self-esteem and self-worth. Yeah, and as a result of which, the kids are forever dependent on the narcissistic parent. Yeah, they won't share what is inside of them, because they know if they share something that's inside of them, or if they share their feelings and emotion, it will immediately be invalidated. And that basically gives a message to the child that your feeling, your emotion, your thought is useless. It's not good enough. Yeah, so the best thing is, let me keep my mouth shut. Yeah, let's hear what my mother has to say. Let's hear what my father has to say. So yes, invalidation is another way with the help of which narcissistic parents make their kids go crazy. The next way narcissistic parents make their child go crazy is by projection. So the narcissistic parents are going to project all their negative traits, negative behavior, emotion onto their child. And this is basically to instill guilt and shame. Yeah, so that the child feels responsible for the shortcomings of the parent. whereas in the child is, nowhere responsible for, the way how the parent feels and experiences. The child is not responsible, but projection helps these narcissistic parents to instill guilt and shame. Yeah, so they keep guilt tripping the child, they keep making the child feel responsible for their position, feeling, emotion. And the child in a way becomes a scapegoat. The child in a way becomes the punch bag. Yeah, the child becomes an emotional toilet for these narcissistic parents. They can do all sorts of stuff, and they can get away saying that I did the best I could, even though we know that's the bare minimum they do, which every parent does. But they have their own unique ways of evading all kinds of accountability and responsibility. So narcissistic parents are big time into projection, yeah, and this helps them to instill that guilt and shame, and the child is burdened, yeah, and the child, then takes up the responsibility of emotionally, monitoring the parents, taking care of emotional well-being, and the list goes on. So yes, projection is another way with the help of which narcissistic parents drive their children crazy. The next way narcissistic parents drive their kids crazy is, by manipulation and control. With the help of manipulation and control, they are able to, maintain power and dominance over the child. Yeah, and they do all sorts of things, from guilt tripping to emotional blackmail. And this is basically to, make the child feel responsible, and be forever in service of their parent. Yeah, this is basically to leave the child, feeling powerless and trapped. Yeah. Uh, this is basically to make the child feel responsible for anything and everything. Yeah, so if the father is sick, the child is responsible. If the mother is not successful, or if the mother is upset, the child is responsible. That's how things are in narcissistic families, and that's how narcissistic parents are able to, exert control over their kids with constant manipulation, and with this display of power. I'm the parent, yeah, you are the child, I fed you, I did this for you, I did that for you. The kid really doesn't need all these reminders. These reminders don't exist in healthy families. The parents decide to bring in a child, and they do the best they can, and that's it. Now it's the kids turn to do whatever they want. They can, go ahead with their life, or if they want to do something for their parent, well, good enough. But healthy parents don't engage in, reminding their kids, giving payback reminders, or emotionally blackmailing their children. Yeah, healthy parents don't do that. They do their bit, and they know that after some time the kids are going to move ahead in their life. Yeah, but with narcissistic parents, they get married for a purpose and reason, they breed for a purpose and reason. Yeah, it's not for altruistic reasons. Yeah, they do all of it with a motive. Yeah, there is an ulterior motive to anything and everything that they do, say, yeah, or engage in. The next way narcissistic parents drive their kid crazy is, you know because of this emotional roller coaster atmosphere and environment at home. Yeah, one moment they are very good, loving, the other moment they are, raging at you, shouting at you, abusing you, yeah, hitting you, treating you badly, not giving you love and affection, giving you silent treatment, passive aggressively treating you. So it's almost like an emotional roller coaster ride in narcissistic families. Nothing is stable, there is lots of chaos, drama, and it's very unpredictable, and this helps the narcissistic parents have better control over their kids. Yeah, they you know um, want things out of their child, and they can ruthlessly go to any extent. And how do they do it? By constantly creating chaos and drama. So one time they might be very good, maybe they'll give you a tiny bit of crumb, the other they'll start criticizing you, the other moment they might start comparing you. It's a very horrible experience, when you are raised in narcissistic family, narcissistic homes. Yeah, because it's nowhere safe. you are just walking on eggshells. You really don't know what kind of drama will start, any moment. You are simply unaware, and you are scared all the time. Yeah, it's nowhere close to, those happy and regulated, families where everything is safe and predictable. Narcissists try and keep things unpredictable, yeah, and that's what helps them exert better control over their victim. Yeah, so they, create such an environment at home, yeah, which is unstable, unpredictable, not calm at all, which includes lots of manipulation, lots of drama, lots of chaos, lots of triangulation. Nothing is direct, nothing is open, nothing is stable. It's a very horrible environment in these narcissistic family, narcissistic homes. The next way narcissistic parents drive their kids crazy is with their double standards. So the narcissistic parents lay out things in such a way that the kid is unable to meet their expectation, and that's how they keep their kids on hook. They, first, will lay out unrealistic expectations, that they have out of the child. Now if somehow the child is able to achieve, or get close to that expectation, the narcissistic parents are going to, set up a new expectation. Yeah, well, that is not good enough. Look at their son, he has even achieved this. Yeah, look at their daughter, she has even achieved this. So, the expectations and the standards keep changing. Narcissistic parents are, unable to keep up with their promises. They are expert in betraying. It almost becomes impossible for the child to meet their expectations. Yeah, because narcissistic parents are very manipulative. They lay out things in such a way that the child is never able to, get, what they want. They will keep shifting the standards, they will keep shifting the goals. Yeah, and that's how they are able to control the kids better. That's how they are able to keep the kids on hook for long. So, this double standard, is something which really drives the kids crazy. Plus narcissistic parents are going to, burden, the kid with unrealistic expectations, and they might not have achieved it, but they want things out of the child. Yeah, and this is something which really irritates and bothers the child. When the kids are small, of course they are, simply doing what the parent wants them to do. But as how the kids grow, they begin to see, and some of the kids even begin to question, and then they are scapegoated. Yeah, and in some of the families they are ostracized as well. So, kids grow and they begin to see, I mean, my mother was unable to do anything at all, and she's expecting me to do things this way, she's expecting me to achieve this, she's expecting me to do this and that. The kids begin to question, some of the kids begin to question, then they are shut, they are, shown their respective places by, gaslighting, manipulation, physically abusive behavior, verbally abusive behavior. The kids are shown their place, yeah, that you cannot question and challenge the authority of your parent. Yeah, I know it all, I know best, and that's it. So, these double standards are something which is very frustrating. This double standard really drives the kids crazy. They are unable to meet their parents' expectation, and they grow up with this feeling of not being good enough. Yeah, no matter what I do, I may never be good enough. No matter what I achieve and what I do, uh, I'm not the good son. I may never be able to be the good daughter. Yeah, because the goal, the expectation, the standards are constantly shifting. Yeah, you reach the goal assigned by them, and then they conveniently shift the goal onto something else. Yeah, they shift the standard a little higher. Well, this is not good enough, look at their son. Well, this is not good enough, you need to do a little more, this is bare minimum that you have done. Yeah, so narcissistic parents might not be able to do, a lot of things themselves, but the kind of expectation they have from their child that's out of this world. Yeah, so this double standard is again, one of the frustrating things, for these children. The other way narcissistic parents drive their kids crazy is by isolation and alienation. So narcissistic parents are going to isolate their kids from the other relatives, other friends, classmates, and this is basically to keep the kids away from other sources of validation and approval. Yeah, so that the kid keeps coming back to them. If the kids have other sources of validation and approval, the kid might not stay on hook for long. The kid might move on. Yeah, the kid might embrace his authenticity. The kid might just become whoever he or she wants, and that is not what the narcissistic parents want. That's not what the narcissistic parents have bred for. They bred for a purpose and reason, yeah, so that the kids can serve them, the kids can be devoted and loyal to them. Yeah, so narcissistic parents are expert into isolating their kids and alienating their kids from external influence, friends, relatives. Yeah, and this is basically to keep the kids away from other sources of validation, so that the kid goes back to the parent, the narcissistic parent, for validation. Yeah? And the last way narcissistic parents drive their kids crazy is with blame and criticism. So if something bad happens with the parent, it's because of the child, or it's because of the other parent. If the kid is unable to do something, the kid is blamed, compared. The kid is shamed for not, being the way narcissistic parent wants them to be. So, there is a lot of blame and, criticism. Um, in narcissistic relationship, especially narcissistic parents and the child. Narcissistic parents vehemently criticize and blame their kids for anything and everything, and this is basically to fuel their ego, that fragile ego, that delusion that they live in, these narcissistic parents, that I know it all, I'm perfect, I'm the best parent, this and that. And how do they feed that false sense of self? By constantly belittling others, criticizing their kids, blaming their kids for anything and everything. Yeah, and that's how they feel good. So no matter how much the narcissistic parent blames and criticizes the child, let me tell you honestly, they still feel miserable on the inside. Yeah, because they're miserable beings. Yeah, nothing can make them feel good. They are, I would say, I mean, the kind of people that I have worked with and I have come across, they are chronically depressed. Yeah, and nothing can make them happy or feel good. It might be for some time, but again they'll go back into that mode. Yeah, so there is a lot of blame, criticism. Even though if the child is not responsible for something, still the child is blamed. Yeah, because in a narcissistic family, kids are like emotional toilet and punch bag. Kids are like the doormat. Kids are the ones on whom the parents can vent out their frustration. So no matter what the problem is, no matter what the situation or issue is, the kids are supposed to be blamed. The kids will be criticized, or in some of the cases the partner will be criticized, the other spouse. So this blame and criticism, excessive criticism, is something which really drives the kids crazy. And the kids have this feeling on the inside: no matter what I do, I'm never good enough. Yeah, no matter what I do, I will be somewhat criticized. No matter what I do, I will be blamed. Yeah, so the kid is to an extent damaged beyond repair. It takes a lot of hard work, time to recover from all these toxic conditioning. But yes, it is not impossible, but it takes time. I took a lot of time. It took me over 10 years to finally set things straight up here, and start feeling right. I had a lot of this guilt and shame on my chest that I was carrying after coming out of my narcissistic family. My narcissistic father. So, I had a lot of that burden, and it took a real long time for me to recover from all of that. So, yes, blame and criticism is also, something that, drives, children crazy. And blame and criticism is, there in every narcissistic relationship. Yeah, the victims will be blamed and the victims will be criticized. The narcissists are always right, and they are beyond any criticism, or they are not supposed to be blamed. Yeah, because they are superior individuals. At least they feel and believe that they are superior individuals. Flaw, mistake, error is for the inferior ones, not the narcissists. They are perfect, they have reached the epitome of perfection. So yes, these were a couple of ways narcissistic parents drive their kids crazy. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.